to Cognitia Podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cognitia Podcast. Every week we bring you fascinating insights from the world of technology, and today we're diving into something you probably use every single day but not think much about: the dark mode in your phones and app devices. Yes, that sleek eye-friendly interface that turns your bright white screens into a more comfortable dark theme. And trust me, there's so much more to it than just black and white. You know how it goes. You're scrolling through your phone late at night and suddenly you remember to switch to dark mode. That instant relief your eyes feel. Well, there's some pretty cool science behind that. But before we dive deeper, let's rewind a bit and understand where this all started. Remember those old computer terminals from the 70s and 80s? You've probably seen them in movies. Green text on a black screen. This wasn't just a style choice. Those early computers used cathode ray tube, the CRT displays, and it was much more energy efficient to illuminate fewer pixels. So, dark backgrounds with light text become the norm. Who would have thought that decades later this would make a comeback as one of the most requested features in modern apps? Fast forward to today, and you will find dark mode everywhere, from your social media apps to your operating system. Even your favorite food delivery app probably has it. But what exactly happens when you hit the dark mode? Well, it's not as simple as just inverting colors. Developers must considerably choose contrast ratios, typography, and accessibility guidelines. They need to ensure that text remains readable, icons are visible, and the overall user experience does not suffer. You might be wondering, is dark mode actually better for your eyes? Well, it's complicated, but here's the fascinating part. When you're using your phone in a dimly lit environment, like most of us do in the bed, dark mode can reduce something called as visual fatigue. Think about it: when you're in a dark room and your screen is blazing white, your pupils are constantly trying to adjust between the bright screen and the dark environment. It's like walking out of a dark movie theater into bright sunlight. Not very comfortable, right? But here's where it gets even more interesting. Dark mode can actually help save your phone's battery life. Well, at least if your device has an OLED or a AMOLED display. You see, unlike traditional LCD screens, OLED displays can turn off individual pixels completely when displaying black. So, the more black pixels on your screen, the less power your display uses. Pretty neat, right? Some studies suggest you can save anywhere between 15 to 60% of your battery life, depending on your usage pattern. Now, that is seriously awesome. Let's talk about those dreaded blue rays everyone keeps warning us about. Dark mode doesn't exactly eliminate blue light emission, but it does reduce the overall amount of light coming from your screen. This means less blue light hitting your eyes, especially during those night scrolling sessions. And why does this matter? Well, blue light can interfere with your body's production of melatonin. That's the hormone that helps you sleep. So, while dark mode isn't a complete solution to digital eye strain or sleep issues, it can definitely help. But creating a good dark mode isn't just about slapping a black background on everything. Developers have to put in some serious work to get it right. They need to consider things like color contrast ratios. The difference between text and background colors need to be adjusted at the right amount. Too little contrast and text becomes hard to read, and too much and can cause strain to the eye. They also need to think about semantic colors, using different shades of grey and maintaining the visual hierarchy in the interface. And here's something you might not have thought about. Dark mode can actually change how we perceive colors. Our eyes dark colors differently than light ones, so the developers need to adjust their color palettes accordingly. That's why you might notice that some apps use slightly different shades of their brand colors in the dark mode. The benefits of dark mode go beyond just eye comfort and battery life. For some people with light sensitivity or certain visual impairments, dark mode can make the difference between being able to use an app comfortably or not at all. It becomes an important accessibility feature, helping make technology more inclusive for everyone. But like everything in tech, dark mode isn't without its challenges. Some users report that reading long chunks of light text on dark backgrounds can cause what's called the halation effect, where text appears to blur or bleed into the background. That's why you'll often see dark modes using dark grey instead of pure black as the background. Looking ahead, dark mode is definitely here to stay. We're seeing more and more innovative implementations like automatic switching based on ambient light condition or the time of the day. Some apps even experiment with custom dark modes that maintain bright identity while being easier on the eyes. So, next time you tap on the dark mode, remember you're not just changing colors on your screen, you're engaging with a feature that has been carefully designed and implemented, considering human psychology, power efficiency, and accessibility needs. It's amazing how something seemingly simple can have so many layers of complexity and consideration behind it, isn't it? Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of the Cognisha podcast. We hope you have learned something new about this everyday new feature we often take for granted. Remember to keep exploring, keep learning, and maybe give your eyes a break by switching to dark mode once in a while. Until next week, happy learning.